We're from Aging Well.
That's right, we're from Aging
You remember
Well
us, don't you?
Senior Services Incorporated / Woonsocket Senior Center, now currently Aging Well Incorporated.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. That's too much for me to worry.
But you know who we are, don't you?
Nice to see you.
We had a couple of weeks that we were out of touch. You
Yeah.
weren't feeling well. I took a little time off. And now we're back. So I hope you enjoy our segments that we do on cooking demonstrations. And before I get ready to make my very easy soup, Steve, I think you have something very important you'd like to say to people.
Okay, so like my hat. So you love my hat, right? Because we're back, and Tom Brady's back. You know that. He's no longer playing for the Patriots. He's playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you know what? I got to watch both games. The Patriots won. Tom Brady did his best. He is getting up there in age, but he's terrific, and we can't forget about Tom Brady. And that's my little message to everybody out there. Tom Brady is great. The Patriots were great, but let's root for Tampa this year. Yay! Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, today I'm going to make a simple soup, and it's kind of tasty. This is kind of a takeoff on the Venus de Milo soup. It's not quite the Venus de Milo soup, and as we know, recently in the news, the Venus de Milo is going to be closing. So what I did was I decided as a tribute to the Venus de Milo, I'm going to make my version of the soup, which came from a very good friend of mine. Her name is Peggy. And I've got the ingredients right here. So what I have here, and I did this beforehand just so that we have a little bit of, save some time, is I have a pound of ground beef, which I sauteed in a skillet with a small onion. Okay? That's our first ingredient that we put into my soup pot. The next ingredients that I have is Veg-All, or a vegetable mix. This is the one I picked up at Aldi's. And this is so easy that we just take the whole can and we dump it in. Some people put pasta in theirs, but this does have potatoes. So I decided that that would be the best thing to do and keep our carbs down just a little bit.
Wow.
Yes, it's not,
You're paying attention to your carbs. Good for you.
not really, but today I did, okay?
Okay.
The next ingredient that we use is beans. These happen to be red kidney beans. You can use white beans, you can use, but as long as they are canned, okay? Because we don't have time to soak and do all that because this is an easy soup. And what you can do, you can dump it right in. No need to rinse, but if you'd like to, you're able to. Our next ingredient, which is nice and easy, is beef broth. Now I only had one in the cupboard, but I think we're gonna have plenty of that and plenty of liquid in here, but you can always add a little bit more. And Steve, I didn't get the low sodium, but I did get fat-free.
I won't tell Linda. How's
Okay. And the last magic ingredient, instead of tomatoes, is Campbell's tomato soup.
that? Wow.
And I'm gonna take and put this in here. This is the fast and easy soup, and as we know, autumn is around the corner,
Yep.
and soup's always kind of tasty.
And the beans, very healthy.
I'm trying, Steve, because I know you pride yourself very much with healthy ingredients. Just gonna mix this up a little bit. Everything's well blended. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it on the stovetop, bring it to a simmer to let everything heat through, because basically everything's all cooked in the soup because we did the beef beforehand and the onions. And I'm gonna let you, Steve, take over. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Hi everybody. So today I'm making stuffed tomatoes because at the end of the growing season, usually August, late August, early September, tomatoes start to come in abundance. And by now, the middle of September, we're inundated with tomatoes. So this is a good way for you to use up your tomatoes. And I got this recipe from Steve last year from my healthy eating group, and we did it last year. So it's pretty easy. The tomatoes, what we do is we cut this tomato here. They're kind of small. You cut the tops off them, and then what I'm gonna do is I just go around with the knife, nice and easy, and then I gotta scoop it out. This is the tougher part. So what I did, just so you know, is I used an ice cream scoop. You could use anything, or you could use a spoon or anything, but I'm just gonna scoop it out in here for now. So you just hollow out the tomato, Scoop it out as much as you can. And then if you can drain it upside down on the cutting board like that, just to drain out the rest of the water. Okay, and then I'm gonna make the tuna for you. So everybody has a different recipe for tuna. I'm just getting rid of the tomatoes. Now you can use those tomatoes in the tuna if you choose. I didn't with my recipes. Here today I prepared 3 for you, and I'm showing you actually how to do one today. But this I used, if you notice the color of the tomato, this is an acid-free tomato. These are delicious if you get a chance. Okay, and they were all made with the same tuna recipe, okay? Larger one, which will definitely be enough for 2 people, I'd say, and the smaller one. Okay, so I use solid white albacore tuna, okay? And for me, I'm not a cook by profession or anything, so for 1 can of tuna, I know how much stuff I'm supposed to put in. So I'm gonna do 1 can of tuna. The most important thing is when you open the tuna fish is to drain out all the water, which I did earlier. I took the top off and I used the top to drain out all the water. I push down, and I make sure I get out as much water as I can. So then I add the tuna. I'm sure you guys have made tuna many, many times, and it's a preference, whatever you choose to put into it. Some people make Italian tuna with olive oil and a balsamic vinaigrette and stuff. This is going to be made with mayonnaise today. So I add the tuna fish, then I'm going to add mayonnaise. Now the recipe calls for a cup of mayonnaise for 4 cans of tuna. So I'm going to do approximately a 1/4 cup, okay, so I'm going to say two of these large tablespoons. I kind of estimate here because I don't have my cup measuring here. But again, it's according to taste. Some people don't like a lot of mayonnaise, and some people like a lot. So I'm just gonna add two tablespoons, okay, of mayonnaise. I add celery. I already chopped up the celery. You know me, I have my famous Pampered Chef chopper here. I chop it up. Steve uses his electric one, but I'm still old-fashioned. So, by the way, I'm promoting Pampered Chef. If you ever get a chance, this is a great tool to have. Okay, so I chopped up the celery, 1 stalk, and that's in there. Put that in there. Chives. I bought the chives today. I apologize. I have chives in my garden. I just didn't have a chance to pull them. So I grabbed 1 chive. I used my handy dandy kitchen scissors that I brought because I couldn't find them in here. Cut it up. And that's 1 chive, okay? Now, the recipe called for red onion. I like chives. You can get them fresh this time of year. I like the chives better, so I use the chives. Okay? Now, for spices, just to let you know, some of the recipes Steve's recipe, when I was talking to him on the phone, he didn't say garlic. But I did look up, I was looking for different ways, different variations. They say just a pinch of garlic. So this is a garlic, and I've promoted this on the show before too. It's called Auntie Aurelia's Ultimate Garlic. So it's at those fairs and stuff. They sell it at those fairs that we're not having this year. I'm just doing a pinch of the garlic. It's garlic mixed with parsley and onion and different stuff. So I'll just throw that in, a pinch of the garlic. I do celery salt, same thing. Just a little bit of celery salt, couple pinches maybe. Not too much salt, right? Black pepper. Plus, it says about a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm just doing a couple of things there. And lemon juice. I didn't know this, but they said you can add a little lemon juice. Do you know why they say lemon juice, Steve?
I have no idea.
So I don't either, but I'm just gonna do just a little.
You know what I do for lemons, though.
You do real lemons, but I didn't have any, and I didn't stop at the store. I apologize. Now, the other thing it calls for, and I'm trying it on this one, but it's not in that one, just so you know, is dill. Okay, so I got fresh dill here. I'm just gonna throw some of that in there. And that looks like relish. I forgot the relish. Now, relish, basic tuna fish for me was mayonnaise and relish. This is one of the easiest things you can use. So, but not too much, because it's really sweet and it will take over. So what I tried to do is just do like less than a tablespoon even, but just a little, just to give it the pickle taste and different stuff that's in. And of course this is Heinz sweet relish. So that should be plenty. Now, I just mix it up and then I'm just gonna stuff the tomato. So if you just bear with me while I mix this up. So Steve, just a quick question to you. Would you use the tomato in it or not? It's just kind of watery. You
I think
would?
it's a little bit watery.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I wasn't sure. But then again, if people like their tuna, some people like it with a lot of mayonnaise or more watery, you can use the inside of the tomato. Especially the native tomatoes, they're so good this time of year. And that's why when I was telling you before, try those acid-free tomatoes if you haven't. They're really delicious. And you know, the color's so different. You can get them at the stands, at the farm stands and stuff. I got that one I think at Goodwin's in North Smithfield. I'm promoting Goodwin's. Here we go. But the other tomatoes are from the garden and from friends. So you mix this up nice and good. Again, like I said, if you like a lot more mayonnaise, you can add that. If you like less mayonnaise, then use less. This is, if you can notice, this isn't really wet, but that's okay. So then you just turn over your tomato, mix this up really good. And you know what I'm missing, Steve? I have fresh basil at home. A sprig of basil on each one would have been nice.
Oh, you would have killed it.
I know, but I forgot that. I tried in my box of tricks over there, but. So now I'm gonna stuff the tomato. All right. So see, you just stuff it in there, depending how much you want. And it's perfect for lunch with some Cape Cod potato chips. There we go, we're promoting Cape Cod.
I don't know if we're supposed to do that or not.
I don't know either. Are we? I don't know. But that's my favorite type of potato chip. I apologize. I probably shouldn't have promoted. But you don't have Cape Cod potato chips here, do you?
Of course we do.
No, do you? All right.
Wait a minute. Oh,
No, I didn't think so.
no. I did. But if you'd like this.
Oh, you promote Lay's. So here at
I didn't promote
Here
Lay's.
at Aging Well, we promote Lay's, but you're fine. That's fine to have on the side. So there we go. So that's the tomato. Now you can put as much on top as you want, but that's perfect for a lunch for one person. There's a lot of protein in it. There's not a lot of fat. I did use, like Steve said, and I don't know why it really matters, but I did use the Hellmann's light mayonnaise just to try to make a difference. The relish has sugar in it, but I only used a little. It's still pretty healthy, trust me it is. And it will taste good, I swear it will. So, I'm just gonna, well, maybe I can make room for it right over here. So there's the 4 tomatoes that I can share with my friends for lunch today. So that's good, that's I'm gonna wrap up that recipe. Have a great time preparing it and enjoy your tomatoes. Like I said, do it now while the tomatoes are nice and fresh and farm fresh. Makes a difference. Thank you.
And you know, Steve, the other thing that you can do is, if you're not a fan of tuna, chicken salad goes very well in there.
Oh.
And egg salad goes very well in there. And it makes a nice presentation with the 3 different ones.
Oh, that's a good idea. Very good. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for your advice.
Okay. This is all heated through. Our soup is all set to go. It kind of smells kind of good. The only thing we have left to do is to have our taste tester try it for us today. And you know, a lot of these things you have around the house, so it's easy to do. The only thing you might want to add to it is a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top.
Oh, that sounds good. Really good.
But just the ingredients you have: pound of ground beef with a small onion sautéed, mixed vegetables, canned beans of your choice. You can use beef broth, and the secret ingredient is the Campbell's tomato soup. And there you have it.
All right.
It's very hot.
So, she's so positive, Penny. But if she doesn't like something, I guess she'd usually tell you.
Do your best poker face.
No, I know. So it's what, Venus?
No, it's not. This
Oh.
is a take on Venus de Milo soup.
Take on Venus de Milo soup.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
And you know, the other thing too, and I have the canned vegetables. If you'd like, they do have the vegetable mix in the frozen food section, which you might have that in your freezer already.
Ooh, it's delicious.
Is it? Good.
It's hot.
It's very hot, but it'd be great now for fall. It does have all the fall colors. I love the hamburger.
I do too.
There you go.
It was the special hamburger today, wasn't
I
it?
think it's a little sweeter.
likes that.
All right.
Okay,
So here we go, and here's the tomatoes I made. Again, I said this one's different colored because it's acid free. Which one would you like? The big orange one? And
I'm going to share with Penny. So
Yeah.
whatever one you want to give to us is
you
fine.
You want the big orange
Sure,
one?
we'll do whatever you
So
want to
half, right? You
do.
want
Half and half
Okay.
On the smiley plates.
on the smiley plates.
On the smiley plate. Okay. Here's the smiley plate. I don't know who to promote for that. So Penny first, right?
There's no name on it.
No, I know. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. Is that okay, Penny?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Cut it in half.
They're really stuffed.
Yep. This one is stuffed. That's a little dill there. I don't know if you like this.
I love dill.
Oh, all right, good. So here you go. That's for Penny.
Makes it dillylicious.
There we go. And here's Steve.
But boom.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Arjun, you want to try some maybe later?
Sure.
Okay.
To try the acid-free tomatoes.
Okay, sure.
That interests me.
Yes. Sure, I'll give it to you right now. I'll put it in a bowl. How's that?
I love tomatoes at the end of the season.
I know, especially when they're nice and ripe.
I'll do half though. Too.
Half, okay.
Mmm.
Is it good?
Has a lovely flavor to it.
Good. I'm glad. And there's a fork from OG.
it's the dill.